At number 67 on the Iconic 100 list is the 1955 Topps Sandy Koufax rookie card. And here to talk with us today about this card is Sports Card Pete from Instagram. Again, number 67, Pete. I know you're mostly a pre-war guy, but what do you think about where this card comes in on the list?
And they don't make cards like that anymore. The horizontal pose of Sandy Koufax's rookie card is outstanding. I think he's one of the best pitchers of all time. And that is a great, I think pitchers are usually collected less than hitters for some odd reason, but one of the best pitchers of all time, shortened career. But the 1950s was kind of the golden age of sets, and Sandy Koufax was a part of that. And so the combination of having a great looking card for one of the best pitchers of all time in an era of some great sets makes this card excellent.
I think when I think about this card, I think about some of the technical aspects of it. Think about how the early Topps years from, I believe, 52, 53, 54, all three of those are vertical years, and you draw immediately. This is the first horizontal year. Am I correct in saying that?
You might be right. I think for the 50s it would be right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's, excuse me, for the early Topps years, it's horizontal and it's oversized. And when you think about when you think about the 50s and you think about like iconic and recognizable baseball players, you think about Yankees, you think about Dodgers. And those are really like the two teams that you go to when you think about pitchers, you think about Sandy Koufax. I don't know that you think of another pitcher from that era. Who am I forgetting? Is he basically the guy?
I mean, you can think of his counterpart like Don Drysdale, but I think 50s, right? You're talking about Mantle, Mays, Aaron, Clemente as kind of the big time, hitting rookies. And then there's Koufax, kind of a league of his own on the pitching side. The horizontal rookies typically are less desirable than most of the vertical ones. I think it's just from a consistency perspective, but man, that card should be the exception to that. It is beautiful.
I think it is the exception to that rule, and I think you're right about that, though. In general, people love to view cards the same way, and so you think about historically how people have stored their cards, and I think the main way that you think about that is like on 9 pocket pages, right? Well, you can take these and you can turn them sideways, and that's what a lot of people do. Ironically, these don't fit the 9 pocket pages because they're too large. At least they don't fit the 9 pocket pages that we traditionally use. I know there's other sized ones, but in this case, what you have is the other way that pages fit into binders is actually 4x2s, right? And so, ironically, if you have that size of page, this is actually the first set that fits those perfectly because they sit in the binder, again, four down by 2 long. And so this is the first set that would, really fit well into those. I'm glad to see this card show up where it did. I think it's very clearly one of the great, most iconic baseball cards, and especially one of the most iconic cards from the 50s. Personally, I probably would have liked to see it show up a little bit higher. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, I had it a little bit higher on my list, and you had it, man. You're almost spot on. It's at 67, and you had it at 70. So you were right in there with this one. Any last thoughts on where it lands on the list or its card's importance in the hobby?
I think for importance to the hobby, unfortunately, I think it's kind of underrated in the sense that it's going to always fall behind the other heavy hitters in the 50s, but still a great card. And you almost theorize that as the 51 Mantle, which is horizontal on the Bowman side, becomes more popular and people say, hey, horizontal cards are actually really cool. Maybe people start collecting the Koufax more, but I think that where it's kind of sitting right now in your rankings is pretty accurate.
Awesome. Well, again, great take on this card, Pete. We're grateful to have you. Card number 67 on the Iconic 100 list, the Sandy Koufax 1955 Topps card. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another guest with another card. And until next time, happy collecting.